Welcome back to the Wind Down. This is actually my first episode of 2019, and today I have Keamber on the show with me. I've been following Keamber on social media for a very long time, I think since MySpace, and that was over 10 years ago. And I find it so funny how we follow the same people on social media, but we don't know them. And so I'm starting something called Know Your NOLA, which is basically getting to know the people that you follow and have been following on social media on a more personal basis. So we're sitting down with Keamber. This is actually going to be our first time actually meeting each other in person, our first time having a conversation. So I'm curious to see what the vibe is, what we're going to talk about, how we're going to blend, and I'm excited. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Wind Down. This is my first episode of 2019, and I have Keamber with me. And I really wasn't supposed to do this, but I'm thinking like it's the perfect time. Like me and Keamber talk on social media all the time. Like why not just make it a wind down? And we never actually met each other. This is our first time. Formally.
Right.
It's our first time like in person.
Right.
Or from what I can remember, the first time meeting you.
Yeah, officially.
Yes.
Lots of mutual friends.
Yes. I've been following you since like MySpace, so I knew who you were but didn't know you, which is crazy because that's the case for like a lot of people in New Orleans. We know each other but we don't know each other.
Right.
So it's good to have you on my couch. Curious to see what plays out.
I'm excited to be here.
So you have a women empowerment or a nonprofit organization.
Yes.
It's called She Loves.
That's right. So She Loves, we actually cater to teens, teen girls. The mission is empowering each girl to curate a life she loves. So I've always had the idea, but the name kind of came with just making my plans. But so I was in a lot of programs growing up, but I was like hand selected a lot of the times. My mom's in the military, been in the military my whole life. So there's a lot of programs for dependents and military families. I went to so many summer programs, things like that. But then, I always came back to New Orleans, to my schools, with my friends who didn't necessarily experience those types of things. And it's just some really good experiences that I was able to have. So I just wanted to create that and make it accessible to most teens in New Orleans. Yeah. When you look around, it's like everybody in your peer group is doing well. So we can't forget that we are in a poverty-stricken city, and there's a lot of people that do still need guidance. Although we found our way, we want to always pay it forward.
That's true.
That's like my goal with the organization.
But I find that to be the case for like most Black African-American teenagers, boys and girls.
Oh, right.
First time going to college. For me,
oh my God,
I was a chemistry major. I started off as computer science. And my daddy was like, no, you're not going to make any money. I don't want you struggling your whole life going to school for a computer science major. So then while I was working in a restaurant, I met this guy. He's actually the director of the Superdome. And he would come all the time. So I knew what he would order. It's to the point where when he sat down, his food was already in. He just waited on me to bring it to him.
Oh, nice.
So he offered me a job at the Superdome. And so I started working in the suites, and he was telling me, just through talking, his friend was actually a pharmaceutical salesperson, and he was saying how much money they make. And all I heard was money. So then I transitioned over to chemistry. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a chemistry major. The problem is, nobody in my school went to college, so nobody told me about loans. Nobody told me about how to go about like getting books or just being a college student. Like we really figured it out.
You had to figure it out. And
that's the case for a lot of most Black kids. Like nobody went to school.
And see, when you say that, it just makes me think. So it's like life. It's just so many layers. Yeah. It's so many layers to it. So then in that case, I always look at, you basically have to know your history to know where you're going. So if you look at where we came from, it's like we're not that far out of slavery.
No, we're not.
If my grandmother was a janitor and my mom could afford to go to college and she was a nurse, that means I should be the doctor, right?
Right.
So that's just the case. But a lot of the times with generational curses, you can't quite get out of that.
That's
so the goal, is to just keep it pushing. Like, how are we going to break this cycle? At what point, are we going to get those doctors or whatever you want to be?
And that's really hard to do. Like it's me personally.
And our parents do the best they can. They can only
exactly.
They can only go with what they know.
Exactly. You know? Especially like my mom, like going through. I went to Dillard, so my first year at Dillard, I remember having to pay like $15,000-$16,000 in tuition. My mom stressed herself out so much. Like, how am I gonna get my daughter through school? You know, and she felt like, oh, it's my fault. You know, like I don't want to be the reason like you can't get these loans. But it's not your fault. You're only doing what you were taught to do, and I'm doing what I was taught to do.
Because if I could do it again, I will go to Delgado for 2 years for the low. Transfer.
Exactly,
to my university.
My university was $14,000 a year. I am in debt. Do you hear me? Like from student loans. And now what I find, I was a third year chemistry major when I decided that school is just not for me. Like it stresses me out too much. I feel like I had to work harder than the normal college student because my parents couldn't afford to just let me go to school and pay my bills. Like that just wasn't the case for me. And most of my friends, it's 4 of us. 3 of them weren't working. I was the only one working, going to school, like trying to study and be a chemistry major at the same time.
And
that's not easy. And still try to have a social life. It was just a lot. So I feel like if I would have had some guidance or, you know, it would have been different. But not only that, that's not my passion. So like it took me 4 or 5 years to realize I don't even want to be in school. So now I wasted so much money doing something that I don't want to do anymore. And I feel like that's the case for a lot of people, but at the same time, society pushes you to say you have to go to school out of college.
And guess what? And you saying that is the main reason. It's so funny because so many people have said to me, well, what about, why don't you just target like okay, are you sure you want to do teenagers? Like that's hard. And it's like,
teenagers is where you should start.
It's like for me, I figured out a lot in high school, and I think that, you know, if I, like what we're talking about right now, if I knew then what I do now.
Exactly.
Basically, if we can help those girls, I mean guys too, but you know, you have to be very specific and intentional when starting a project like this. So not that I'm just counting out the guys, but girls,
female, so you can relate.
It's what I know. It's who I know I can help. I mean, eventually I may grow, you know, heroes. Who knows?
Exactly.
But for now, I'm sticking to my girls, and so I say that to say, you know, we feel like if we knew then what we know now, and in high school, I figured so many things out. I was in programs. In your mind is already set on college, and you have all these ideals.
And if you're not in college,
and
your friends are, it's like you're a low life. Like you are just a nobody. It feels
different, but you shouldn't feel like that because your route could be different. And if you meet people that took a different route, you feel better about.
That's what young teenagers don't realize, and that's just not what college. That's what love. It's so funny though because I have a little cousin and I follow her on Twitter. She's about 15 or 16 years old. And the stuff that she tweets about, I put myself in those situations as a 16-year-old, and it's like, it's so funny to me because in that moment, as a 16-year-old, you think, this is so for real. Like, this is so serious. You're so heartbroken over this guy. You're fussing with this girl, with this guy, and it's like, 4 years down the line, she's not even going to matter to you. He's not going to matter to you.
I always feel like that. Like, so I feel, I mean, I'm not out of touch, but it's just so funny when my little sister is 17. She just made 17. And so it's just so funny when she's, you know, telling me her stories or her friend problems. And in my head, I want to say, I mean, ideally, realistically, I want to say, like, they don't even matter. It doesn't even matter. But to them, it matters. I take my time, I talk it through it, you know. But it's just like,
I'm more of, it doesn't matter. Like, I literally tell them, it doesn't matter. Like, take it from me. I was with my ex for 6 years, you know, I couldn't see life outside of this boy. Like I was really just stuck in that life. And now, like he's not a part of my everyday life. I haven't thought about him in so long, you know. But when we broke up, I was so torn. So anytime I get a chance to talk to young kids and they're telling me about whatever, I tell them, like, I'm gonna give you the honest truth.
It won't matter.
It won't matter. Like,
it literally won't matter.
It don't matter. I want to get into like one of the Fill Me In Friday posts because
oh Lord, don't give away my answers.
No, I'm not
gonna might hate me.
I'm not gonna give away your answer, but I think it was a question of, I think I said something like, if you haven't dated somebody, if you were dating someone and it wasn't sexual, let your friend talk to this guy.
Oh,
like, you know, you were like, this should have been a question. So obviously I was saying, you know, me personally, if I dated a guy or we were texting for a couple weeks or whatever, obviously it never went nowhere. I'm not interested, or maybe he wasn't interested. It didn't go anywhere. So like, if my friend was to talk to him or she liked him, that's fine with me.
Okay.
I don't own that person, but a lot of people in New Orleans, or just in general, women in general, they hold ties to men. If he had my number, he's mine. Like, you know, you would lose a friend over that. But like, why though? Why is that a thing?
So I'm very territorial, as in, I don't feel like they're mine. But I also feel like if I dated a guy, you know, not sexual, whatever, I feel like, I guess because the type of person I am, if I do have a connection with someone, it's like I don't want to say I'm deep, but I have pretty like tight connections. Even if it doesn't work out, I probably still have like some type of connection to that person, like on a friendship level. Or I also feel as though, alright, so I didn't have sex for a very long time, right? Like, so I just feel like, so does that mean all my high school relations counted? Like all my high school relations? So you trying to say, no, I was in love in high school. Like, does that not count?
I get what you're saying, but it's like you're in love now.
Right.
You've been in a relationship for a long time.
I'm just saying, like, so my high school didn't. So okay, so this is my problem.
But at the same time, I think it's one of for me personally.
I feel like what friend would want to date somebody I dated?
But what if we weren't friends? Okay, like me, for instance, my college friends are probably some of my closest friends. I met them in college. So if I dated Bill from 9th grade or 11th grade, and we texted for a little while, or maybe it went a little longer, but it was never anything sexual.
Right.
And my friend that I met in college started to date Bill. Why would I say, oh no, I used to talk to him, so like I would
say if it was serious. I think it just depends on the connection. Because okay, if you're my friend, right, and I'm talking to this guy, and I tell you, I share information about our relationship with you as my friend, right? Yeah. That would be weird if you started dating him.
It's just muddy to me. Like,
you don't think that would be weird?
It would be, yes, I give you that. Like, it is weird, but at the same time, I really do feel like people put ties on men or women when it's like, what are you gonna do with them? You know, like,
I guess some things I wouldn't say all the time. I wouldn't say every case is the same. I feel like it's situational. Like, what type of friend is it? You know? Yeah, is it a close friend or an associate? Okay. And how was the relationship? Was the relationship one of those, like, we were just so tight? Or was it, like, just somebody I was just messing with? I just count, like, one of my hoes. Like, one of my friends. You know what I'm saying? But
I know people, all of that is the same to them. You know what I mean? If you talk to somebody that they had a number for a week versus somebody they had a number with for 6 months, it's the same to them, you know. And for me, it's like, come on, like, I'm a bad friend because you got this boy number, but y'all never never did anything. But I mean, y'all just had each other's number. So like,
and then I think for some people it depends on. So say if your friend is not happy, hasn't found her person yet, and then y'all go and be happy, it's like that could have been me.
Yeah, that's true.
That could have been me.
That's true.
I have a friend that might have talked to the same person I talked to, but it wasn't like any big deal. Like, but you know, for me, it depends on their level.
I get it. I think it's fair for everybody to feel like a way about it, which is why it really should have been a poll. But I think it would have been a mix. It would have been probably 50-50. Like, some people would have said, I don't care, and then others.
I wanted that to be a question because I was like, that's such a good question.
But what about like,
because I've had this question come up, and I've had this scenario come up in real life. That's why that's what made me even bring it up in
the poll. I don't really remember how it wasn't a poll, but some type of way it was in the poll.
I think you were just, I can't remember either.
Yeah, I don't really know, but it was
you said it, but you didn't ask it.
Yes,
you said it it was like a question within a question.
Exactly. So, but I only said that because I know someone that does that. You know, like, and it's just aggravating to me. But one of the other questions on Fill Me in Friday this week is, you know, your friend's boyfriend tried to talk to you. Oh, and I kind of know what your answer is going to be because you seem very like, it is what it is. Like, very, but your friend's boyfriend tried to talk to you. But you know how your friend is with this guy. You know, no matter what he does, what he says, she's going to take his side. Like, he can persuade her no matter if the evidence is, like, right here. You know, you can see the text and say, like, oh, he's texting this girl. But he can flip it some type of way. That's just how men are. I cheated, but, like, he's going to get his way out of it. She's going to believe him. Do you tell your friend or do you just stay out of it, knowing, like, that ultimately she's going to take his side for it? She's still going to be with him.
It's been things I withheld from friends because I knew it wasn't going to be, it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But for me, I would be uncomfortable, so I would have to say something. I would have to say something. Like, even if it wasn't, I don't know, I would just have to say something. But I guess that it's easier said than done. Like, you would have to really be in a situation. But my answer is, like, yes.
I don't really want to seem like a bitch. I don't really want to seem like judgy or
I hate to come off judgy.
But everyone has opinions. I don't think anyone. It'll be different if we were sitting here saying like, oh, how do you feel about gay people?
Right.
Oh, I think gay people are. Right. That's like totally different versus. And then also to me,
I like the topics. That's how I always answer.
But also too, me personally, it's either you like me or you hate me. There is no in between me because when I speak, everything is like so solid and so like confident when I say things.
I get that from you.
And so it's either you like me or you hate me. But 9 times out of 10, if you are around me long enough, you may start off hating me, but then it's gonna like slowly progress into like, oh, she's fine. She's just a little rough around the edges. You know, like I am very rough around the edges. But the thing about me
is,
you're
like matter of fact.
Exactly, but not everybody can take that. Some people like things to be sugar-coated. You know, you have to say things a little softer. I'm not a soft person. Sometimes I am, but like if I'm talking about something that I'm very passionate about, if I'm into it, I may say something that'll offend you, but you have to understand that that's just me. You know, but like me and my friends, the ones that I was telling you about from college, they didn't really like me very much.
Really?
It's like they liked me, but it was almost like, you know, like they're gonna like me from a distance kind of thing. Until they actually realize, like, she doesn't mean any harm. She's just, but at the end of the day, like, I was a middle child. So if you know anything about middle children, I've always had to fight. I've always had to defend myself. So when I talk, I'm defending myself. Like, oh, when I'm passionate about something, my tone is like defensive, but I had to be that way. So me personally, and I think that's why I like Feel Me on Fridays and like the wind down. Yes, I'm gonna give you my opinion about it, but Feel Me on Friday gives you the option to chime in and like give your opinion about it as well. Yeah.
But I'm a first child, so I'm very just responsible and just. And my little sisters, I actually have. Let me not exclude my other siblings, but my dad actually has 3 other kids, and you know, I have a little sister who I live in a house with, which is different, you know. And we're 9 years apart, so everything for me is,
for the most part.
I feel like an only child, and she feels like an only child. Even when she was born, it's like we're still only children because, I mean, it's nothing I can fuss about with someone that younger than me. I really just feel like
a gap.
Right. So even if she, you know, like I said, she's 17. So of course we've had fusses, you know, but for me, it's like, it doesn't really matter. It's just like...
So you're more non-confrontational. You're more of, feel how you feel, I'm going to feel how I feel, but...
I'm going to say how I feel, though. But, see, I feel like that. But someone else, like my boyfriend or my sister or my mom, might say otherwise. Like, but I really don't like to fuss. But I don't fuss because I just feel like why would I fuss with you? Because... You're like a child in me.
And
like
see me, I'm a fusser. Like, I'm not going to say a fusser, but if you want to debate about something, I'm going to
I love conversation.
Yes.
I'm here for conversation, but not everybody can have conversation.
That's true.
That, like you said, you call it a debate, a conversation. Some others may call it a fuss. Yeah. You know? And I don't like when people feel like we're fussing because to me, we aren't fussing.
Yeah. Like, don't get so hyped up about the situation. But people don't know how to agree to disagree. Even though I'm stern and like I can debate with you, at the end of the day, you feel how you feel, I'm gonna feel how I feel.
That's why my friends are my friends because they know how to agree to disagree. Yeah. disagree all the time. My friends are truly my friends because we can literally agree to disagree.
I feel like that about my friends too, and it's crazy because me and my friends, we just went out Friday, and we just started exploding on each other, like literally in the middle of the, because they, to me, in my head, y'all are asking me too many questions. I explained the situation, this is how I feel about the situation, which is crazy because I have a trillion questions about things. Like I'm always questioning something, but they were asking me too many questions.
Because you're a matter of fact.
Exactly. So if I tell you this is why, I think I've explained it so much to the point where like this is, you should understand. Right. So it's too many whys. Bottom line is we were like exploding on each other. The next day everything was just fine. Like I saw them the next day and we were just friends again, you know. But it's like, that's how you know who your real friends are. They know me. They know how I am.
Right.
We can fuss right now, but tomorrow, like, we're friends again, you know? And it's almost like people don't get that. But even in my job life, it's, if I say something, they take it a whole other way. If I say, well, no, I don't want to do that. The way that I say it makes it seem like so hard, so wrong. But I'm just telling you I don't want to do it.
Right.
And so they may come back later, or my manager may come back later and say, well, that was really rude. And it's like mind-blowing to me because I had no clue that that's how you perceived it to be.
Right.
I was just being myself.
Right.
So like I find myself having to like softening my tone.
And I think
I don't like to do that.
I
don't like to do that.
Sometimes we have to compromise.
Yeah.
Especially in different settings. You know,
yeah.
In a work setting, like if somebody, and this is the thing that I've learned. So I think I've said this on the filming of Friday. What's your toxic trait or something?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can be condescending. Just because I'm gonna say what I have to say. Like how I was saying just now, like I'm not fussing with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you think we're fussing?
But you're more like, why is it a big deal? Like, why are you so angry?
Or just I've been told. See, and that's another thing. Like why I had so many questions coming into this, and I'm like, it's very hard for me to talk about myself. It's very hard to talk about myself from another person's point of view. But my friends have told me, so I've been told. Because I really don't look at myself from another person's point of view. But I do like to move in a way that is loving and kind. And I don't like to make people feel less than. I love for people to feel very good about themselves. And, you know, especially around me. So if I feel like I'm making you feel away, I will switch. I won't switch, but I will try to like rectify the situation. Okay. So for example, like I can be condescending. I've been told just how I speak. Yeah. Like how you're saying, it's how you speak. But literally, I think I purposely will think that I'm speaking. I might talk with a lot of distinction just because I am purposely trying not to go off on you. This is the nice voice, you know. But it's like, you talking to me crazy. You talking to me like I'm stupid. Because I'm like, no, this is what I asked you to do. Yeah. Like, but I can see, I can kind of recognize, okay, so I learned this thing, right? If someone says they're offended, it's not up to you to tell them how what you said wasn't offensive. That's out the window. If someone is offended, you offended them, and that's it. Yeah. What you did offended them. Yeah. So you need to fix it. But not fix it, but you need to say, you know, I was not trying to offend you. This is what I was trying to say. I am sorry you were offended. Just be apologetic and let it move.
But my problem is having to apologize for being myself.
Right. But if someone was
offended, my problem.
If someone was offended, even if you feel like they shouldn't be, that's how you feel. Yeah. But if someone was offended,
I think it's more of, okay, you do have a right to be offended. But it offends me that you were offended. It offends me that I have to apologize.
You cannot be mad because I'm mad. But that's that is some evil narcissistic.
But that is me. Like, let me see a good example. We're talking about, I don't know, maybe someone's buying shoes and they're showing the shoes around. Most people agree to liking the shoes. I may be that person to say, I don't like them, or they're not cute to me. Somebody will take offense to that. Right. So then it's more of like, oh, she's judgy or she's rude. I didn't mean it the way you took it. I may really just be disagreeing to the situation.
You asked, and I just stated my opinion, but I'm sorry if that hurt you.
those are the type of things that people get mad at me about.
Right.
So then it's like, I have to apologize for that.
Right.
You know, I don't. So maybe in 2019, one of my goals is to just soften myself.
Right.
You know, soften myself because...
Or just, you know, don't stop being you, but also if someone brings to your attention that what you said may have been offensive. You know, this happens to me so much. Like, I'm not even kidding. Since been like, oh,
really?
Yes.
But it's crazy because you're more of like the nicer.
I feel like I'm very nice.
Yeah, and I'm more of the stern. This is what it is.
But people will be offended.
Both of us offend people.
Well, the thing is, so I've been told, like I said, I've been condescending, and I've learned. So aside from just, you know, not trying to offend anyone, just state your intentions, and if they can't live with that, they can't live with that.
I think for me, I just have to slow down. Like sometimes I don't think things through, so it's more like I just blurt it out, and then like people are offended about it, and they're offended about it later, and then I hear about it later. But in that moment, like first of all, I just need to just be quiet. I've learned about myself that because my tone is so strong and it's so stern, I can't voice opinions like other people are able to voice opinions. So I've been really good this year about just not saying anything. Like in this was maybe a week ago, my coworker was showing us a video of her husband rapping with Chopper. So my first reaction was to say, that shit sounds so horrible. I literally wanted to say it, but I didn't say it.
I hope your coworker
So then, I hope she doesn't see it either, but that was my first reaction. So then, you know, it went on and went on, and then she said it was her husband. And I was like, thank you, God, that I didn't say the shit sound horrible, because the old me would have just been like, that sounds so bad.
I hate it.